So here's one final issue. Or is it one final issue? Basically, it's the issue of the fish. If the whale inside is a whale, if we can call it that, it makes me think of a scene where he falls down into the mud but survives, when Falcon drives up the dead end. Two things happen here at the same time, at least. One is there's a hook. I think it's the sort of hook used to carry things from a port onto land or vice versa. The area seems like a port area. It's sitting in between two sides of the bridge and over the water. So it's at least intended to lift stuff or lower stuff from the sea to the bridge or the land, or vice versa. At the same time, Falcon is jumping into an abyss and survives. It's a dead end, he jumps in and survives. That is to say, two things happen at the same time, two survivals. The bomb is survived and the jump. The jump could have cost him his death. The bomb could have killed him. Both events are survived at the same time. The jump is safely navigated, the bomb is defused. The bomb had been placed there by Shadow Falcon. I guess Blood Falcon, but created by a shadow. The shadow, Black Shadow guy, leaves a guy onto him. He creates this guy called Blood Falcon, dressed in red and black, and places a red and black bomb onto the car. The Blood Falcon person also hangs onto the car like a nighttime hag. This bomb is then diffused by the hook on the sea, and it feels to me like the fact that it's a sea place is important. The hook even hovers in the background behind Blood Falcon while he's jumped on the ship, sort of reminding me that it's going to lift the bomb, or maybe Blood Falcon, off of the ship, sort of implying that, or reminding us that it's going to play a role future in the game. It's announcing that it will appear in the future and that this problem, this present problem about the bomb, is going to be solved good. So, again, Black Shadow creates this, or fished this guy from out of Falcon's back. A bomb is escaped in the previous scene. Falcon saves Jodie. Okay, here's a barrage of different things I want to mention. To the right of the casino is a place called Queen's Ca, presumably casino, I think. Queen's Casino, let's guess. To the left of the casino, in fact visually conjoined with the casino, is a place whose lettering is very ambiguous but reads like the word king. I see AV King, with maybe a dot between AV and King, but really it's blurry and bizarre. Sometimes I see a million other things, like maybe it's not even the same letters. Other times I assume it's Kino instead of King, the way Kino is used in Japanese to refer to a cinema. The odd assumption here is that if the first few letters are AV, which is up to question since it could be Aya or anything else, AV in that case with Kino would make me think of AV Kino, as in AV cinema or adult video. It fits with the red light district vibe of this casino place, but it would have escaped Nintendo's radar since I guess they wouldn't have allowed that to stay in. AV or Aya King is weirder because I have no idea what it means, but of course intuitively I'm drawn to it for the symbolic possibilities it offers, so I will try to argue it says that. The reason it seems symbolically interesting is that King would stand to the left and Queens or Queen to the right, so it's weirdly consistent. Also, messing with the image's light makes me think there's a clear lump or ball separating the end of the final letter that looks like a G. If it were an O, it might be smoother. Again, big speculation. Anyway, that was fun. I wanted to speculate a bit crazily to see if I can lead this analysis in weird directions. Also because, honestly, I have a question about this sign. I am intrigued, so if anyone has theories about what it says or what it is, I wanted to get it out there. Thing is, too, that this sign or building is panned by the video's camera, right, to make it rest right behind the entrance to our casino, the one Falcon goes into in the end. When Falcon saves Jodie, he is picking her up into the ship. Then the ship turns its light on dramatically, looking like two eyes lighting up. Red eyes like the start of the game with the Falcon. So what is it? Is the ship waking up? Is it coming alive? It had red eyes before, red car lights thing, but here it is presented dramatically, like they're slowly lighting up, slowly looking at the camera. Is the car looking at us? The Falcon was looking at us first, at the door to the stable, or the sort of secret base. The eagle, right? What I called the Falcon before. Of course, Falcon's eyes are uncovered at the end, and they're covered throughout. So the eyes are released, and we don't see them. The eyes are taken from out the mask, and then we don't see them. That's exactly what happens to us. We see his eyes when they are behind a mask. That is to say, we can look into Falcon's being, his face. We can see his soul when he's wearing a mask. But when the eyes are off, we're not allowed. So does the car take a similar role? Does the car open its eyes in contrast to Falcon, or as a sort of substitute to Falcon? Can we see Falcon's eyes, the real eyes behind the mask, thanks to his car, or because of the car? Does the car serve that role? Falcon is blinded by the light before entering the final cave. Something about light and seeing is being highlighted here and maybe blocked. Hilariously, it's another blocked end, a dead end, like we saw before. So maybe the dead end is dead because it's impossible to see. It's an end that can't be seen. It's simultaneously a dead end and an infinite one, jumping to a conclusion. Since Falcon seems to be jumping into a screen when he enters his base, he enters behind the Black Shadow's screen. It's like entering the dead end is entering into a screen of light projection. A screen is a fitting dead end. It's simultaneously a wall you can't pass through, but also an entrance to another world. A screen could also be a memory, a perception. When Falcon saves Jodie, she's just a dead body, practically unmoving. John Tanaka once again holds her as she droops over him like a lifeless person. What's happening here? Falcon dives into another dead end in the bar, since he walks down into a room with no corridor, or a corridor that is dead. It has no end. Of course, this isn't entirely true because there's a clear door there, but I mean that... Okay, so I'll see. This is my theory. The door is there, but Falcon doesn't use it. In other words, Falcon didn't walk down this corridor in order to go through the door at its end. In fact, he used the corridor precisely because it's a dark and hiding place to hide and put the disguise on. Become another person, his mask. This is thanks to the dark side of the corridor, which is a dead end. That's what I think about this. You could even suggest that the little round dial to his left is the dial that opens the door, but it's red, yellow, blue, and green, the colors of the Famicom, the character or console he's just disguised as. If that dial opens the door, then what is that door? Is it the door to Famicom, the door to Falcon becoming or entering the console, the Famicom? Does Falcon enter the machine? It's hard to tell, really. Another thing to jump at. We start with people in front of a TV, looking at Black Shadow on the news. Hilariously, it's 7 people. Mr. EAD seems to be with them, but he's actually turning around and around, not concentrating on the TV as the others are. So I feel there are 7 concentrated people on the TV. Obviously, 7 the number of Falcon, so this is Falcon's base. 7 looking at the screen. The place is called Hyper Ride. It seems to be a virtual console place or a sort of ride thing, like an arcade F-Zero machine for F-Zero people, like a fake F-Zero thing for fake people, like the one Falcon has. That's weird because it implies, if my big theory is nothing more than me being crazy, that the screen where Black Falcon is on is a screen symbolically connected to the idea of playing a game or riding a virtual car that you're riding, but only symbolically, the way Falcon is in the garage. It could be an area filled with virtual things. Maybe that's what this street is. It's got Disc Lab next door, so maybe it's like the entertainment virtual street. So Falcon easily gets his virtual garage to be in this place. Hilariously, what Black Shadow is on is the news, or is called that. So we're assuming the news is always that. It's like a metaphor, like the news is always big explosions and grief caused by Black Shadow. Let me point out that this street also seems to show a female figure, neon, with the words doll on it, which might point to my theory that the above A.V. King thing has indeed some relation to porn or sex. The big fish is fished out of the sea. That is to say, the hook takes the bomb and inspects it or throws it away. This hook is used to fish things out of the sea, be they ships or parts or materials, onto the dock. Anyway, what's fished out of the water? A lizard is drinking water, well, alcohol, or a liquid. It's a bar. This dinosaur is drinking and shown to be wasted, lying on the floor, very intoxicated. He finishes his drink, seems to empty the bottle, and opens his red eyes. What he sees is Falcon dressed as a clown, a jester, in fact, a joker with a hat, a console. What is this liquid? Jack Levins's glass is raised above him, just in front of Dinosaur. Falcon is distracted from his drink. He never quite takes a sip because Sylvan Nielsen comes in. His glass disappears from his hand as if by magic and is replaced by symbolic coin. A sip of this drink seems to have signified an arrival of a coin. He's given a round circular mandala by an old man figure, just as Deathborn, the man, gives him a circular treasure. This special disc gives Falcon a strange golden crotch power, a magical power that emanates from his pelvis and is thrust by his body, his elbows jutted out, clearly thrusting it out to exert the power. He's flanked by these, like, what are they? He's given this golden disc by the old man who wants a last chance, or a last request. A request done at the end of one's life. However, the request is to have one's life blown out and extended, since what the old man wants is money to buy stuff and live, keep on living, or keep on winning.